Hi, Tile from Infidelity here. Today we're going to talk about a very cool and fairly expensive headphone, the Oppo Digital PM-1. It comes in this beautiful display case, beautiful red colored display case, and inside the case you can see the headphones are nestled in this lovely suede-like material here, and I'll pull them out. And here we have them, the lovely Oppo PM-1. This is a $10,000 or $1,099 headphone. It's a planar magnetic design, but it's very different than the planar magnetic designs in the Odyssey or Hi-Fi Man or Abyss headphone line, in that those headphones all have linear bar magnets and a serpentine pattern on their diaphragm of conductors. Whereas this headphone has a circular magnetic structure and a spiral on the diaphragm, rather like the old Fostex T50RP, although quite a bit different in terms of its design. It's a very exotic design. If you'd like to read all about that, I go into it in quite depth on the Infidelity review that you can see the link below the video on YouTube. So as I said, this is a sort of a luxury general purpose headphone at that price, with the really nice display case. It has lambskin leather covered headband. It has lambskin leather ear pads and velour ear pads that are on these headphones. The sonic character is only slightly different, with the leather pads being just a slightly brighter sound. The ear pads are very easy to replace. You just give them a pull and off they come. And here you can see the driver assembly. You really can't see the diaphragm, which is within that little mandarin opening. They call it a mandarin opening. But behind that is the driver assembly. The magnets are mounted here, and then a small one here around in the middle. And there's a substantial amount of damping material behind the driver. They've done a very nice job of making a headphone that is nicely damped. And there's enough damping material in there that there have been reports of some people changing the sound character of these headphones a little bit by adjusting the damping materials inside. So there's plenty of room to play around with these if you so choose. I like them right out of the box, frankly. I found them really good sounding. We'll get to that in a second. The headband extends on stainless steel arms here. It's very, very comfortable to wear. Relatively light for a planar magnetic headphone. I've been using this with my Astel & Kern AK240 a lot lately, which is a great sounding little portable player. And it worked just fine. I would say these are headphones that are good for general purpose uses around the home, in the office, hotel rooms, around the pool, so on and so forth. But they are an open design, so you really won't get rid of a lot of outside noise. So loud listening environments are probably not a good place for these. So it does come with a 10-foot OFC Ono single or low grain count cable here. It's a very nice cable, cloth covered, has a very nice connector on the end, and uses 2.5 millimeter mono plugs for the earphone. And there's a little rubber part right on the end of the tip here that is an interference fit with the socket on the headphone to reduce strain. These 2.5 millimeter plugs are a little bit fragile, and I did like seeing that mechanical connection between the ends of these connectors and the inside of the connector there, so it should be a fairly sturdy way to go. They also come with a shorter connector for use, or cable for use with portables. This thing's a little over 3 feet in length. and has nice slender plugs on the ends of it, but I found it just a little bit too short. I would have liked about another foot on this cable, and also these little curls tend not to go away over time, so they're a little springy. But it's still a good workable cable for portable use. It does not have a remote control on it, so you can't use it as a phone headset. It also comes with this nice denim carrying case for travel and storage. A little flap here, and the headphones go into the case like this and lay nicely flat. So it's a good case for storing them in. I found the sound quality of the PM-1 very much to my liking. Now, I tend to like a little bit of a polite sound that's a little bit rolled off on top and a little bit smooth or juicy sounding. I like that a lot, and these headphones deliver really well on that front. They're very smooth and enjoyable listen, no harshness whatsoever. They're also very dynamic and punchy sounding, interestingly enough. So they got good punch as well as being nice and smooth sounding. Unfortunately, they don't quite have the upper treble articulation or level that would give you really good imaging, so the image tends to be a little bit small on these headphones. Nonetheless, for me, I prefer that trade-off of a nice punchy sound that's a little bit laid back. So it kind of depends on the flavor that you're looking for. I would definitely recommend that you have a listen to these before you go ahead and purchase. As I said, I consider these a luxury headphone and not really a high-end headphone. I did spend some time listening to these compared to the Audeze LCD3, LCD2, Sennheiser HD 800, and the Stax SR009. The regular headphones I drove with the Apex Audio Teton, which is a terrific tube amplifier, and also my reference Auralic Taurus Mark II. And in those kinds of conditions, I found the Oppo PM-1 lagging a little bit behind in terms of its clarity, articulation, and air compared to the other higher-end headphones. Although I did find these maybe slightly better than the Audeze LCD2 due to its slightly grainy character, whereas these were very, very smooth sounding. They also did respond well to being driven by super high-end gear, but they didn't ever quite reach the level of performance of the LCD3 or Stax SR009 or Sennheiser HD 800 in terms of their treble clarity and articulation. No surprise there, really. So I did end up deciding that these were going to go up in the Hall of Fame at that $10.99 price point, knocking the LCD2 off. I did struggle with that decision because, well, for $1,000 plus, it would be nice to see this thing get a little bit more performance like those higher end headphones. However, the LCD2 is around $1,000 as well, and I thought it did a little bit better than the LCD2s, plus all the ergonomic advantages of a lighter headphone, more useful for portable applications, and a little more comfortable walking around the house and the office with them. They stay on your head nicely, and they're not as heavy. So I ended up putting them on there, knocking the LCD2 off, although the LCD2 is a really good headphone. I thought these were just slightly better in the company of high-end gear, and certainly far superior when it comes to walking around with them. However, at $10.99, they are a luxury purchase, a great purchase, and lots and lots of pride of ownership features on these headphones for the well-heeled audiophile. But if you don't have quite as healthy a wallet as that, I'd suggest hanging on for a month or so. The Oppo PM-2 will be out soon. It's going to be substantially less expensive. I don't know what the price point is quite yet. It will have protein leather features on it, less machined parts, a few more plastic parts in the hinges from what I hear, and should sound very, very similar. They're going to use the same driver. I don't know if they're going to tweak the damping at all to make them slightly brighter or not. That's been considered from my understanding, but we'll see. Nonetheless, the PM-2 might be the way to go if you want to save a few bucks and not worry about the really nice wooden carrying case. So yeah, the PM-1 is a lovely, lovely headphone for those with tastes a little to the dark side, and I certainly highly recommend them for folks who can afford to drop some coin on a really beautiful piece of kit here. It really is the nicest headphone presentation I've seen. Very, very, very nice indeed, especially for a first effort from Oppo. So looking forward to see how they pan out in the future, because this certainly is a lovely headphone and holds quite a promising future for Oppo with their headphone designs. Alright, hope you get a chance to hear one soon. It's a lovely, lovely headphone, and we'll see you guys next time.